I don't think the recession was caused by President Obama.
Do you think it can be fixed by him and his policies?
I think it would be hard for anybody to fix the employment situation very much. And I think what they did to solve the problems of the Great Recession, the crisis, was all to the good. I think the government had to do that, and both parties supported that. And it was the last decent bipartisan effort that I can remember. Since then, it's been nothing but this hatred and bickering.
Who would make a better president for the American economy and, frankly, for our place in the global economy at this point? President Obama or Mitt Romney? Whose policies make more sense?
The truth of the matter is, I think that we're lucky that the two candidates are as good as they are.
Really?
I think it's a better twosome than we normally look at. They're both intelligent people who achieved honors in their academic studies, et cetera, et cetera. So we got two intelligent people. And I think they both decently, they're both decent and they both care a lot about the country. That's why I think we're quite lucky.
But they come down on very different lines when it comes to taxes, when it comes to how American businesses should be regulated. If we saw Mitt Romney in the White House, we would see much lighter regulation. He has said, see him repeal Obamacare in, say, the first 100 days of the administration. I mean, big moves that are really different. So purely, not even your political opinion, from a businessman with as much experience as you, what makes more sense for the economy?
Well, Warren is not a conventional Democrat, and I'm not a conventional Republican. So I think there's much wrong with a lot of the Republican theorizing and much wrong with a lot of the Democratic theorizing. And then when they both get into trying to make political points, it's not a very attractive discussion. Long term, I'm a little less afraid of the crazies in the Republican Party than I am of the crazies in the Democratic Party.
Why is that?
Because they're not going to win. Then nobody's going to take significant rights away from women or eliminate the ability of women to get abortions. None of that can possibly happen. So these crazies are not going to succeed.
But conversely?
The Democrats might succeed in some of the crazy things they want to do.
And what would happen then?
Well, it wouldn't be good if we had the tort lawyers running the world, and if they create systems that are easier and easier for people to game into unearned money. And it's just, I'm afraid of what happened to Greece when people start depending on the government instead of working.
You're afraid of a system like that playing out here?
Eventually, yes.
Really?
Yes.
We are so far from that.
Yes, we are. But it's a direction I don't want to go anywhere near.
Wow. The Buffett rule didn't get the support it needed in the Senate. And I'm wondering if you think...
By the way, I'm totally for the Buffett rule. I think it's ridiculous that people who have multi-million-dollar incomes don't pay a little more in taxes.
Well,
As a matter of fact, they ought to be leading the way into asking the taxes be imposed the way Warren is.
But it hasn't progressed yet. And if you're leading...
No, the anti-tax movement. I think the Republicans get so mad. They so fear an unlimited tax and tax, spend and spend, elect and elect.
Yeah.
They're so afraid where that will take us. Lack of responsibility, direction of Greece, and so forth. They get to say, we don't want to vote for any taxes. I think that's a counterproductive idea. I don't go that far. I want eventually a value-added tax in the United States.
That's going to be a tough one.
Yes, but I think that's what we need. I think we have a lot of trouble letting people have a lot of money that they've earned and then coming around later and taking it back. That causes very intense hostility and reaction. And the value-added tax, it just sort of disappears with each. That's the reason the Republicans hate it so much, is it is so easy for people to pay. But I think if taxes are a sinew of civilization, which I think they are, I'm for a value-added tax.
I just spoke with Warren about this situation in Europe, and he's concerned but not overly concerned. You've said recently that European leaders were, quote, shooting at an elephant with a pea shooter.
Yeah.
What's your concern?
They did that for years.
What's your
And of course, I knew it wasn't going to work, and they've kept hauling out bigger and bigger weapons. And now, this last weapon, when you talk about $1 trillion and start giving it to the banks so they can buy government bonds,
right?
That is not a pea shooter anymore. Now they're starting to do stuff that's serious. It may be a bad policy, in other words.
Is it?
That's a very hard question. But basically, I don't think it's at all easy to know when you have this much economic trouble exactly which solution will work best. The people who studied it all their lifetimes, the economists, they disagree utterly on which policy is correct. So why should everybody else understand exactly what the right thing to do is?